I'm on the sofa with Emily Harvey, who's standing for the position of engagement here at our Students' Union. So just to begin with, Emily, so what are you studying and why are you standing to be the engagement officer?
I'm studying history and politics in my final year, and I'm standing purely because I'm part-time at the moment, part-time officer, and I really enjoy the job, and I like having the authority and the autonomy to run a campaign you're really passionate about. So for instance, I ran getting gender neutral toilets around campus, and I felt really passionate about it. I wanted it to happen, and it's really exciting being able to actually do that. So yeah, being part of...
Definitely like a instrument of change then.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So there's been a considerable decrease in the voter turnout over the past years in regard to Union Council. It actually decreased 35% from 2014 compared to 2013. So what makes you think that people will actually vote in these elections, and why should people care and be engaged in union politics?
The reason people should care is the people you elect run your student union for a year. So if you like their policies and want them to be seen to actually happen and work, you need to vote to make sure they win and do it. In terms of letting people actually engage and getting people to do it, I've got a number of ideas, such as doing one poll a day, because I think it's quite confusing having 5 different posts that people don't really know what each of them do, and it's just a lot of names on a piece of paper, and it can become a bit of a popularity. I know that person, I know that person. It doesn't become about who can do a good job.
So you think more needs to be done to educate students?
Educate, and yes, if you separate the roles into we're going to vote this person, this candidate position this day, so you can really concentrate on explaining what it means, who these people are, and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay. So at the start of this election, there was a decrease in the number of candidates from 20 to 13, which is 35% again, in the number of candidates actually standing for these elections. So what is your reaction to this, and why is it so? And do you think it indicates a lack of interest in union politics?
It could do. I mean, it's a difficult one to say. I mean, a lot of people dropped out because they just thought they couldn't, well, what they said and explained it to was that they just didn't think they could fit it around their course, or they found too busy, because it does, I mean, we've done 2 weeks, we're nearly 2 weeks campaigning, and it's very difficult, and it's a lot of your time and a lot of your work, and I've had to just forget about my dissertation for the last 2 weeks, so it takes up a lot of your time. And
so do you think more needs to be done to maybe promote it?
Yeah, definitely about promoting, getting the word out there, getting the SABs out there, trying to encourage people to run, chatting to people, explaining what it actually is and what you have to do,
Because if you're elected as engagement, a good key part of your role is to actually get students back into politics. Definitely. So how would you go about maybe promoting your position? So maybe future candidates?
It's just about getting your face out there. I know it sounds easy and it should have been done, but it is just about going and talking to students and finding lots and lots of interesting and fun ways to do it. So I've been doing some lecture shout-outs this week. It's great, and you get a really good reception. So just go out and chat to students.
So go for it, basically.
Just go for it, yeah.
Okay, so there are currently 14 sabbatical positions. Now, as you know, 5 are being contested this month. Now, do you not think there are too many positions, and surely this leads to a conflict of interest which impedes union policy, or effective union policy?
No, I think it's about right. I mean, obviously we've introduced a new one this year, and I think the best thing about it is you have to represent all different aspects. So I think part of the problem with experience was it's so wide that the experience job, it wasn't really well defined, whereas now you know that the 2 areas are well-being and health, which is obviously really important, but also students and societies and development. So I think actually it has been a good move splitting them up, and I'll be interested to see how they work next year.
What about some of the part-time positions? There's quite a lot. Would you maybe get rid of any?
I would definitely have a rejig around, I think particularly with this new development, you don't need a health and wellbeing officer, because that's encompassed in a full-time role now. I think the green the environment officer, that I think comes actually under engagement, so I think that should be included in my role or Alex's role. So I think that you could jig them around, but liberation officers, I mean, obviously I'm a bit biased, but I think they're crucial.
So let's go and talk a little bit about engagement now. How has collaboration with underrepresented groups changed over the past years? What sort of improvements are you planning on the existing collaboration?
Well, I think we've had our first year of, second year now of liberation officers. I think that's been a dramatic increase in how much you're actually engaging with students, because although they're part-time and that can be a difficult, that can be a problem, they've got their role and they know who they're supposed to be representing. Same with having a postgrad officer, I think that's worked really well.
Would you definitely keep the postgrads?
Yeah, I would keep the postgrad. For now, I think especially with this new start of the postgraduate association, I think that needs developing, and I think having both the engagement and the postgrad working on that, you could get something really good out of it. But I think I would actually start focusing on mature and part-time, and those also aren't represented at all. So looking to create an association for them as well, and working with postgrad to do that as well.
Okay, so there's a general sense of apathy towards student politics. Now this is a result of the belief that the Students' Union just doesn't represent the students. So how do you intend to prevent further dissatisfaction with union politics, if elected?
Better engagement.
So would you like to expand on that?
I think apathetic students is always a hard thing, and it's not something you're going to totally eradicate, but it's just making sure there's everything for everyone.
Yeah.
So it's about listening to what the students want, and what's been quite interesting is walking around and asking people, and I mean, generally it is cheaper food and things like that, but there are some really interesting ideas all over the place about how to better engage international students and how to better engage like first years and things. So I think it's about widening and making sure you actually are considering everyone in your...
So you mentioned in your manifesto about the mobile app you're planning on doing to maybe like display what's kind of going on in union. Do you think that's like a step towards, you know, getting people back into union politics and knowing what's going on?
I think it's an easy way that, I think it would, because most people have smartphones now. I mean, I have a really rubbish one, so it might not work on my phone, but most people have an iPhone. You just download the app, and then once a day it's updated just saying you can get involved in this if you want to get involved in student politics. You can go out and do this tonight. You can do this.
I think that's really what it is though, isn't it? It's about starting to, maybe not getting back into union politics straight away, but it's about maybe showing what unions got for them and how they can get involved.
How much there is to offer, yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm just going to go on to your manifesto now.
Okay.
So just to begin with, what is your number one priority if elected?
Number one priority?
Yeah, what's like your big policy? What screams vote for Emily?
I don't know if I can narrow it down to one, because every time I mention a couple of policies, each one becomes, there's a different response for each one, but obviously one of my big part of my roles is accountability. Yeah. So, and I know Alex has done this as well, so it's not, but it is about increasing accountability and transparency. So it's thinking of ways to do that, such as having like regular question times, meeting with societies regularly, because I mean they're where students are most involved.
Together,
so
it's
creating that strong link.
And the Students' Union, it's severed, and we need that to be restored.
But I think in terms of like the ones that have been most popular, it's actually been sort of like more like free printing credit, and about like later night food on campus. They've been my two most popular wandering around.
Okay, well let's just talk a little bit about free printing credits. So how would you plan to actually fund this? And do you not think a printing cap would be better?
I think, I mean, when you say free printing credit, that's a choppy name. I mean, obviously the details of that need to be worked out, because for instance in physics you print way less than geography. Of course. So for fighting for it, you need to work out those practicalities. But in terms of fighting for it, like we are one of the only universities that don't have free printing credit for our students, yet we're still expected to print off our dissertations, print off our essays, etc., etc. So it's just a case of, like you said, sitting down and looking at all the departments. But in terms of like working for it with the university, it's definitely doable. It's going to come from the university budget, not the union budget. Okay. It's about attending the meetings and pushing for it if the students want it.
Okay, so I was going to ask you one final question. Now, in your manifesto, you advocate a sports pass to play in sports teams. Now, I think we're onto something here. Would you propose this sports pass to include the necessary insurance required to actually play in sports teams?
Yeah. So I think what you have to think about is I'm not bashing the passes we have at the moment. There's some really good options. I think it's just about having more, so students actually have the choice of different prices, different options.
Yeah, because at the moment we've got the tier systems. We've got gold plus gold and silver.
And like you said, they all include insurance.
Yeah, so would you introduce a new option just for insurance so you can play in a sports team?
Yeah, definitely one where you can just play in a sports team, like one sports team for one bit of insurance for it.
Yeah, maybe some students don't want to participate in like paying all the extra costs for the gym memberships. Maybe they just want to go and play in a sports team.
For me, for example, if you're a student that doesn't have a huge budget and you want to play, I don't know, I used to like playing football. If you want to play football and you want to just play football, you should have another option for it. So it's just about more options and lots of different prices.
Okay, well thank you very much, Emily.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.